Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome to the, what's today, March 24th edition of WZR Radio here on WZROnline.com and a bunch of other websites. I'm, as always, Ryan Clark, and I got Jose Rivera with me for the next 2 hours talking pro wrestling. We got WrestleMania less than 2 weeks away from yesterday, or from Sunday, actually 2 weeks from Sunday. So we got a lot to talk about, a lot of news and things like that to get to here in the next 2 hours. But before we do all that, I got to bring in my co-host, Jose Rivera. Let's crack a rock and pivot up.
What up, what up, what up?
Hey, man, did you hear? I just, during the pre-show that we did, I had, usually we play music for about an hour, but Kurt Angle was on Howard Stern earlier this morning, and me being the diehard, loyal Howard fan Stern that I am, I always get those online, and with Kurt Angle on there today, it was interesting, man. I sent that to you earlier this afternoon. I know you listened to it. What'd you think, man? That was hilarious.
It was hilarious. Especially the best part was when Iron Sheik came out and then them two were arguing about, his participation in the Olympics, and then calling him, F you jabroni, which was just the hilarious part of the entire show.
That just aired on the pre-show for those of you guys that missed it or don't tune into the pre-show. I want to find some old clips and things like that so we can actually promote the pre-show up a little bit. You know what I mean? Just air clips before we go live, because I know everybody that was just in the live chat room, a lot of you guys were in there and heard that. But very, very funny stuff. For sure. We don't have our producer tonight. I'm the producer again. This is the last week we have to do this. Last week and this week. Wanted to apologize real quick for the archive of last week's show. We had a little problem. See, when the producer is a couple thousand miles away, it's not easy to get the archive up on the same night or the next day. So we were a little bit late on the archive, but we got it up. And it's up, and I don't expect any problems this week. We should have it up by Wednesday on WZROnline.com. So I apologize for that last week. Let me do some plugs here, Jose, and then we'll get right into things, man. We'll run down Monday Night Raw, WrestleMania, bunch of news the past week, and we'll talk about the weekend and the other BS that we usually do. So here's some plugs real quick. The live phone number, 724-444-7444. Once again, 724-444-7444. The call ID number is 30273, followed by the pound key. So basically, you just call the number. They ask you for the call ID, 30273, followed by the pound key. Then you're put inside a queue, and we'll take your call in the order that it is received. We have the live chat room, lots and lots of people in there already tonight. Usually that fills up by the end of hour one, but there are a ton of people in there already. Jose, you're in there. We have I'm in there. We'll do chat shout-outs like we normally do every week. WZROnline.com/chat for that. Of course, the official website of WZR Radio is WZROnline.com. And that about does it for the plugs. Now, one more thing. We don't have any TNA Impact tapings tonight. They did a double taping last week. SmackDown tapings, they did a double taping last week. So we are in the clear tonight, which is always a good thing, man, because it's been, you guys that follow the website, it has been crazy, crazy, crazy busy with the amount of news and articles that I've been putting up on a daily basis. It's killing me. Waking up at 9 in the morning, not going to bed till 2 in the morning. You know what I mean? It's
9
brutal.
in the morning. What's that?
Yeah, I know.
I got to see double digits on those clocks before I can wake up.
Oh, I know, dude. 9 o'clock. Well, today I slept in a little bit later, man. You know that because I IMD the first thing when I got up. But usually it's like 9 o'clock in the morning, man, and then I'm off here at 2 o'clock and nonstop. There's just writing news, putting it on the site, writing news, putting it on, you know what I mean? It's just, it's a daily thing, man, and it doesn't end. Like, you think, all right, how could today be any busier than yesterday? You know what I mean? There was so much news that we had up on the websites, and then today comes around, and there's a whole new set of news, and then tomorrow comes around, you know what I mean? It's like, if you miss one day of visiting the website, you are totally lost. You're totally out of the loop, you know what I mean? It's crazy, and especially WrestleMania, you know, it's only going to get busier because we've only got, like I said, 2 weeks? We only have one more Raw until WrestleMania next week, right?
The big one, that's it.
Big one. It's in Dallas, Texas, too. So if they wanted to bring Houston.
Oh, the Raw. You're talking about Raw in Dallas, correct?
Yeah, Raw in Dallas.
Gotcha.
Well, I mean, if they wanted to bring in somebody like Austin, I don't know if he's in Hollywood, if he's out there right now, or if he's got a place out there, you know, where he's living out there, or if he does, you know, still, I'm sure he still owns a house in Texas, you know what I mean, because he likes to hunt and all that stuff. But
I think he owns a ranch up there or over there.
Yeah. So if they were to do something, I mean, next week, you know, final Raw before WrestleMania, you could bring Austin in at that point. That was my original thinking. Remember a couple weeks back, I said I think the last Raw before WrestleMania, the very last legend that comes in would be somebody like Austin, you know what I mean? And next week would be the perfect opportunity to do something like that if he were in Texas and not Hollywood. Well, they could fly him in too, but, you know, we'll have to wait and see. But that's next week's Monday Night Raw. And then last night's Raw was decent. I thought it was the ending of that show actually had me pretty entertained. It went on for a little bit long, but it was good, man. It was good. I love this Orton. I mean, they are pushing him to the moon and beyond. You know what I mean?
It's funny because it's something that we've debated and talked about in the last few weeks with the home invasion and then getting arrested. But then when all this started off, Shane being kicked, punted, and the RKO off for Stephanie, and then the following 2 weeks, storylines were kind of drifting away. Reality was kind of drifting away. Then they kind of refocused their attention yesterday during Monday Night Raw, bringing reality back. Chris Jericho walking towards the ringside, being recorded. And then finally, of course, we see Stephanie getting a DDT off the second rope. So back again, reality was brought back into the angle. And I thought last night's Raw was the best one that I've seen so far in the last 2 weeks.
I hope they go. I mean, I really feel that Orton has to go over at WrestleMania. So by having there's been constant beatdowns on Triple H. You know, Triple H gets arrested, and then last night he's handcuffed to the ring. It's all Orton. You know, Orton's got the upper hand race. So my hope is you have one more Monday Night Raw going into WrestleMania. You hope that next week Triple H comes back, gets the revenge, right? So Triple H has the momentum going into WrestleMania, and then you have Randy Orton go over. But then when you get to WrestleMania, if they want to have Randy Orton go over, I don't think you can put that as the main event of WrestleMania, because you can't have WrestleMania end with a heel in the ring, with a heel like Randy Orton in the ring nonetheless. I think they end it, to be honest with you, they could do the SmackDown title match with a title change there. Maybe put over Cena huge with Cena winning the title there, or you could end it with The Undertaker or Shawn Michaels, because no matter who wins between those two, you know, I mean, it's not going to matter. WrestleMania is going to end on a high note. I don't think they want to have WrestleMania end with Randy Orton as the heel champion and then end the show like that. I just don't think that's what they want to do. The last time they did it was in 2000. I read something on that today where Triple H is the heel, and he was able to win the title. So
I honestly, I kind of hope that those two finish off, and the only reason why is just because exactly what you said. Like in the last 7 years, we see the faces getting over, and they're pushing Orton all the way up until the sky, up until Mars. And I think if they focus their attention and continue pushing on them, and then when the show ends, they have Orton just kind of raising his hand.
I don't like it.
I would rather see that, to be honest with you, because it builds the storyline suspense for the rest of the summer, and it's just like, wow, this is freaking, It's different. It's different. We have something different in the last 8 years or 7 years. But then again, it would be nice to see, Undertaker versus Shawn finishing the show, because it's going to be a classic, old school type of match. But they had Undertaker finish last year, and I don't really see Cena's match. I see that match like after the Women's Battle Royal or something like that,
Yeah,
you
don't see Cena, Big Show, and Edge. You don't see that as
doesn't have that impact
as being the main event. But I think if they did a title change at the end of that match with a Cena, that's going to send the people. I think they want to send those